Johnny Youngblood.
Shout out DJ A. Shout out KP. Certified Savage. Thursdays, 7-ish.
Got to do it.
Shout out Well Connected AZ. Shout out Unfiltered as fuck. Let's go. Hey.
It might not work out, but I got
It's the name of the show. Don't blame me.
Hey, it's the one thing I love.
We taking this thing official, AZ. We going together. Let's go.
I think.
How y'all feel out there today, Saturday, November? We have an election winner, it seems. Hopefully the contest is over. We can get back to business representing this Arizona hip hop. Shout out to everybody tuning in. We waking up, AZ, 11:30 AZ time. It is the mission. Let me get my stuff correctly here. Let's get correct. I'm glad y'all are tuning in. We got a really big show. We're going to Saturday spotlight new artist Nuggy G. Came in to smoke that gas. Shout out to him. Yep, come on in, guys. No doubt. Come on in, my G. There your headphones. There's your mic. Please sit right there. Right here on the mission, where our mission is to bring you these new artists, these new projects.
Yeah.
And it's also to talk it out with some of your more established artists as well. We got the videography going on. Salute to the young lady in the room.
Most definitely.
RTU Worldwide Radio Icon, home of quality independent music.
Wake up.
We got Tiny with us today. Wake up, Arizona!
Got a little infant Tiny over there.
Glendale Ave, 24th and Glendale Ave is where we are getting ready to broadcast live around the world on your radio dial, on your Facebook, coming to your Mixcloud, your YouTube. Of course, as always, on www.respecttheunderground.com.
Hey.
That's how we get down.
Hey.
Let me cue this out. Okay, just so you know, we will be slowing down on the music other than the artist music on the show. We're taking the podcast official, and we have to cut down on all this copyrighted music. We will still be playing Arizona artist music on the show. Good morning. Hold tight, Nuggy.
Big bags.
How you doing today, bro? How is Nuggy G today?
Amazing. Very uplifted, very in the clouds, if you know what I mean.
Let me get you a little applause there. Thank you for coming in, Nuggy G.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, man.
Saturday Spotlight. We're here to talk about you.
Most definitely.
Let me get back on my camera.
It's a blessing to be sitting in the seat right now.
Well, I'm glad you're here, man. I really am. I'm a one-man show, so part of me is I direct the cameras and do a little bit of everything here. There we go.
I've been watching.
Good. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate you and everyone that's out there watching, no doubt.
I appreciate that you were the first DJ that actually performed my first show, if you remember that night.
Right, and that was your first show, and I made a comment to mention it because you did great, man. I appreciate that. I love to see people perform their new music, and you definitely did that, man.
Yeah, I keep watching that video over and over again. I'm just like, I know there's a lot of things I need to change.
It's hard to watch yourself, but it's very instrumental in getting better.
Yeah,
so,
like, I have been only doing it for like 3 months, no lie. But
hey, salute. You did a great job, man. For as much experience as you have, you did a great job. Now it's good to get out there and get that love and let people know. My advice would be in the future to slow down on telling people that, because they wouldn't know it by your performance. And you know you're over that hump now. You did your first show. You know
appreciate
what I mean?
that. I really
and if you ever make any kind of mistakes on stage, my advice to all artists is don't tell anybody, because they don't need to. They don't need to know. This week I did forget to print out my paperwork, but I still did the research. Don't worry, intranets. It's just on my phone. I forgot to print out the papers. I'm trying to save a tree and burn a tree at the same time. Nuggy G, I get the feeling you've got one of the best logos or character trademarks. However you want to say it, you've got one of the best of those that I've ever seen. How did you come up with that? If anybody's seen the flyer, we'll put it in the video and post. That's a great, and so much so I think you should have one made, like where you could wear it around.
Hey, if there's anyone who could do a
costume people in Arizona,
please, and anybody who can make T-shirts. I've been trying to get T-shirts made. I had someone gonna make some for the show today, so I can hand them out and everything like that. But something fell through last minute. No communication. Right. I need someone who's gonna be communicative with me. I have the bread. It's there.
Okay.
I just need someone who.
We can talk afterwards. There's several names I can point you to online. Okay. And people that do that.
And anybody who does tune drawings, because that logo is Google. I'm not going to front.
Okay.
It's hard to find people who can do good drawings nowadays.
Well, I tell you, all you really need to do is just make it similar, but just alter it a little bit.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to add a little different kind of swag to it.
Just change it a little bit and keep the same motivation, though, because I love that, man. I think if you had a guy rocking in that costume on stage with you, I think it would be the ultimate side man.
I've had that thought. I've had conversations with my friends about that thought, and they're just like,
A few people have done it, but it never gets old. It never gets old. That kind of animation is incredible.
It's what's needed right now because there's too much hate going on right now, and it needs more uplifting stuff, and that's what I'm about to bring. You know what I mean?
Cool. I get the impression you partake in cannabis
every day, all day.
Every day, all day. Do you like indica sativas or hybrids?
I'm a big indica guy.
Big indica. But I think most heavy smokers are indica guys.
Yeah,
right?
I have noticed though a lot more of the sativas getting more into the indica more high than it has been during the time. Because I used to stay away from sativa because it used to be more paranoid and shaky.
I agree. But I think if you stay with indica a while, then go back to sativa, it kind of because I had an experience with a Clementine strain from I forget the company, but anyway, it was real good and it hit me out of nowhere because I wasn't expecting it.
Crept up on you.
Well, I was hitting it during the day because I thought, well, I'm just gonna keep it moving during the day, and this is my keep it during the day move. But man, it smacked me in the face.
Smacked you so hard. Mike Tyson, you real quick.
I had to take a moment. I had to take a time out. Do you partake in the dispensaries
all the time? I actually had my medical card before everything was legal, but it's legal now, so I'm actually curious to see what they're gonna do with the pricing on it because I heard everything's supposed to go up. So people were saying
everything's gonna go up.
$6 A's, $70 A's.
But the thing is, we pay the same. If you keep your card, you pay the same tax.
Exactly.
And you don't have to wait in line with the rec people because they're gonna have it divided. So medicinal goes one way and rec goes the other way. I'm thinking about keeping my card just so the line won't be as long. Because I know when them fools get in there and start seeing all them choices, they gonna be like me. They gonna be a while.
They gonna be a long time because I get up in there and sometimes I go for one thing and I end up walking out with like too much.
It's easy. It's easy to do. And since I moved out here, I like it's shopping for it is just almost as fun as using it to me. What's your favorite dispensaries? Give me your top 2 or 3.
Right now I'm going to Herbal Wellness a lot. That's my go-to right now.
They must be on the come up because a lot of people are saying HWC, Herbal Wellness.
See, when they first opened, they had a couple good strains, but the rest were more, they're But now everything's getting more frosty, more potent, more everything. I don't know what the growers are doing, but they're doing a fabulous fucking job. So
their house cannabis is good, is what you're saying. Yes. It's not like, because I know I've been advised to go there. Some people have said to get maybe the Cookies brand there, or a different.
Yeah, they've been having a lot of new ones going through, like Quality 22 and some other. They have more Moon Rock stuff coming in there now.
I like Moon Rocks. I haven't tried Quality 22 yet.
Yeah, and some Red 22. I think it is. There's a lot of new brands coming out because everybody's trying to grow it now.
Well, now it's gonna be more and more, because as the income comes in, there's gonna be more people to meet that demand.
Everybody's gonna be wanting to grow it. Everybody's already wanting to grow it. So everybody's just been waiting for that legal sign to go. It's legal now. So
no doubt. I mean, I think I've got a friend that's gonna help me start. I think I'm gonna grow a few plants just as a hobby. I need a hobby. I'm an older man, needs a hobby. I'm getting into botany, I think. Nuggy.
I've been saying the same thing, but I've been waiting for it to be legal too because it's hard to grow outside. It's hard to grow inside because I have kids,
Me too.
So I can't grow inside because they're too nosy and they like to climb everything. I can't do it. So now that it's become legal, I'm just gonna grow outside because I used to grow back in the day. Me and Tiny were always indoor growers.
It's such a dry climate here. Is it okay to grow outside here?
It's just you have to really care to it more. Okay. Because if you unattended for a day, just like barely water or not, like it's dead.
Is it easier if I had a closet? And I'm new to this, so maybe you can help me. If I had a closet that I could lock and keep the children out of, would it be easier?
You could probably do that with like
would it be
plants?
Right, just a small amount because I'm, I have no confidence in my ability to grow quality cannabis. So I like leaving it up to the experts. But maybe one day I'll get good enough.
Yeah. That's what, man. That's all it needs. You need to know what you're doing and produce that quality stuff.
I've got a buddy. Shout out to Ghost. Shout out to Scotty the Ghost. He's going to give me a head start. Where did you grow up? Did you grow up in Arizona?
I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, right off of 71st right there. Hung out all the way around Phoenix right there. Grew up, went to West Valley, all that stuff right there.
You've seen a lot of things change then.
A lot of things have changed.
Did new people piss you off, or are you cool with it?
Everybody on that side of town, I don't really talk to them because drugs have gotten so bad over there. It's got to everybody I used to go to school with. It's ridiculous.
You either blew up or fell off, huh?
You either did something with your life, you fell off, or you're on a comeback. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, God bless whoever's on the comeback. Yeah, God bless whoever's on the comeback.
For sure. I've been on that track,
How long have you been rapping?
Like I said, 3 months.
So you never played around with it. You just caught up.
I mean, in high school, yeah, I used to like a couple things sit there like
freestyle and write a little bit.
Write a little bit, then you go. Everybody be in the bathroom, can see what you got, what you did during the day, or right. Then I kind of just stopped. I was more into sports and stuff like that, football, baseball, and stuff like that. Then in high school, we just kind of played around with it. You better party drunk, just did that kind of stuff. But recently, since all the pandemic and stuff, I just wasn't working for a while, and I was like, you know what? I know people that know people, so let me talk to these people. Let me write something down, see what this sounds like.
Who was well, since it's only 3 months ago, that's interesting. Who do you think, was it somebody, a friend of yours, or somebody that's actual rapper? Who inspired you to take off on this journey and start this?
Everything.
You're a hip hop fan?
I'm a big hip hop fan.
You're a big hip hop fan.
Big hip hop fan.
So at this point, why not give it a shot, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Just why not give it a shot? I was always at the house just bored. Like, I need something to do. If I can't grow, then I need something to do. So I was like, I told her, my lady, about it, and she's like, go do it, go ahead.
It's good to have that kind of support.
Most definitely is all the time. She's like that.
Well, all these questions I had about you growing up rapping don't even apply. How is it now? And again, this is all new. You said you got support from your young lady there, your friend. Did you get any? Are you experiencing any backlash? Is anybody kind of
every day, all the time,
on social media in real life?
But
people
I'm
a little confused at your choice.
Well, they're confused. Like, what is this? I never heard this before. But it also helps. Some people can't take the criticism and they get all butthurt about it, and they're just like, oh, they want to complain about it. But sometimes you just like look at it as maybe this is what I do need to change. Actually, look at what you need to do. You can make quality stuff. You know what I mean?
What has your family said about it? Does your family know you rap yet?
Some of them do.
Do you have like a coming out party? Do you announce it at you have a family birthday party and you say, guess what, guys, and you play a record and say, I'm rapping now.
They haven't really. They just kind of go with the flow. They really haven't said anything about it. Every time I tell someone about it, everybody nowadays, if you tell them about it, they hate on it or they really don't care. No one wants to support anymore. So
we're still early too. People could always say, well, let him go a while. We'll see what he does with it.
Yeah, and they gonna see.
Yeah,
they gonna see. I got some features coming up with a couple people. They gonna see.
Yeah, your music is good, especially to be so new in it. Do you work with? Do you get your beats offline? Do you work with producers?
I'm actually working with Ghost. Ghost the Alchemist.
Ghost the Alchemist.
Yes,
okay. A different ghostly friend of mine, but a friend nonetheless.
Yes, we all know that little friendly Ghost right there.
Ghost the Alchemist. Yes. Good people. So he's working on your music with you?
Yes, every time. He's the only one that works on it.
And you are fully affiliated with 867 Entertainment?
Well,
or is this a semi? I want
to say fully. I asked him already. I need that chain, but I got to work for him. I'm working for him. I'm trying to.
Yeah, you're like Exhibit with the alcoholics. You got to work your way in, right?
You got to work your way in and show that you won.
You the new blood. Well, it's rough when you're it's rough when you're only a few months in, because everybody's just you're testing the water and everybody's testing the water with you. I would imagine.
And that loyalty goes a long way, though. Loyalty around here goes a long way, but not a lot of people in Phoenix see that. They rather be top dog instead of let everybody in the circle eat. Because that's what it used to be back in the day. Back in the day, everybody ate. In middle school, we all made sure, if we came up on something, everybody got something. Nowadays, as you get it, everybody's stingy with it, or everybody wants to have it for themselves, or they want to be the big dog about it. It's like, bro, that's not. It's goofy. That's goofy style right there.
That sounds like a downside to the Phoenix hip hop scene. What do you think one of the positive things are about the hip hop scene around here? And your new experience.
Yeah, I mean, if you know the right people, there's a lot of positivity with the people that you need to associate yourself with, because a lot of people there's a little too much negativity in the hip hop scene right now. I've already been here, so it's like not that long a time. And I've already seen how much fake stuff there is, how much hate there is, how much just everybody wants to win and everybody wants to be top dog, but no one wants to help other people. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a competitive sport, and that brings out the worst in people sometimes. You know what I mean?
That's a shame. That's a horrible shame, because that's how you burn bridges, and then
I'm new here. I've only been here 3 years, and I'm coming in trying to get people to work together. I'm trying to mend some fences and bring people together as an outsider. I've said it clearly, I really enjoy Arizona's hip hop.
Me too.
I think there's a lot of talent here, and I think you're right.
A lot of it.
I think you're right. One of the things that is holding it back is the quest to be #1 or the man or the woman or the quote unquote first person to make it from Phoenix, and that's a detriment. That's really, it can be a positive, but like I said, just like competition, when it's done the wrong way, it can be a detriment.
Yeah, like how's the old phrase go? Everybody wants to be cheap but no Indian.
Right, exactly.
Like, come on, like.
Who's your and if you work the game appropriately and get with a good team, and if you don't mind waiting your turn, usually it comes around.
Patience is
usually
key.
It comes around for everybody.
Patience is key. That's why I'm not in a rush right now. I've already made so many songs. I know what I need to sound like. All that stuff. I'm not in a rush to. Now I'm working on quality. What it's gonna sound like. What I need to project.
Refinement. I got you.
That's what I'm working on right now. That's why I'm trying to get features. I got AZ Bobby coming on with one.
Oh, that's cool.
Hopefully,
he's a friend. AZ Arizona Bobby.
Hopefully, I can get on with DJ Pat.
Okay.
So, and then I got Ghost, hopefully getting on another one with me too.
I'm sure he will. I'm trying
to work with everybody I can, because like I said, loyalty is key, and everybody you can talk to, ask me about me, they're gonna tell you I'm the realest one they've ever talked to.
Okay. So. You seem like a good dude to me, Nuggy. I got no complaints. When you were a fan of hip hop and you started to try this wild thing, since you were a fan of hip hop, who do you think? No one in particular you looked up that you might have. A lot of people, when I first started rapping, it was a very long time ago, I looked up to LL Cool J. So that's at first, some of my lyrics kind of sounded like LL Cool J, and then I got into my own bag later on. Who do you think was your kind of main inspiration like that? I know you said everybody, but hip hop's a big thing. You must like some more than others.
I think the first hip hop song I heard, and I know it's late, I think I was yay high, but it was
you're a young guy.
Yeah, it was Afro Man, because I got high.
Okay.
That was like, because I like the
to
beats,
me that's an entry point for a lot of people if you're not affiliated with hip hop, because that became a huge record.
Yeah, and
crossover
in my house
record.
they were like, it's either this kind of music or you don't listen to this. And I was just like, when you tell your kids no, they want to be more curious about it and see what it is. So I always ended up being more curious about it.
So the first hip hop song, let's break this down. Let's analyze. The first hip hop song you listened to was Afro Man, Because I Got High.
I like the beat on it.
And now your name is Nuggy G, and your logo is an actual cannabis bud running around with a gold belt or chain or something.
It's a chain that says Nuggy on it. Yes.
Nuggy, yeah. So that's original. You could talk to a lawyer just as a counsel. That might be, you just find out what exactly you have to do. Not even a lawyer, maybe just Google, find out exactly what you need to do to make it different enough.
To patent it so make it mine. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, if I can get also someone a tune jar or two to get that stuff nice.
Because I've seen people do things incredibly close and get away with it. So I think it's just the way you do it, like everything else.
Yeah,
and,
that's why I'm trying to get the T-shirt to just change something up a little bit on it. We get it going.
I see you did a collaboration with a fella named Young Word.
Oh yeah, that is.
Let's talk about that collabo. What brought that about?
He also did music. He knows Ghost for a long time also. So real small world, Phoenix. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows everybody some way. It's crazy. They all did music, and he's like, yeah, come. What do you got? And so this is what I wrote down. He's heard it, so he's like, let me get on that. He's heard the beat. He's like,
oh, that's live, and it was authentic. I mean, I like that because that's kind of grassroots, like authentic, like really, really working together. Yeah, because not the new way.
He was already doing music with some other dude called Liquor C over in his apartment, so he was doing that, and I was going over there, and I heard myself, and I was like, bro, I need someone who can produce, produce, not just put something together quick and then send it out. I need an actual dude who's gonna actually take the time and give me quality. So we went over to him. Ghost heard it. And then went off from there. But free word. He got locked up right now, so free word.
Mm-hmm. Free word. Yeah, definitely free word. Free the word.
Free the word. Free the word.
We want to look out for him, please. I see you also worked with a fella named Liquor C.
Yeah,
which I would think Nuggy G and Liquor C would be like a perfect combo. Maybe y'all could do like a EP called Smoking Water or something like that. I don't know.
Smoking Water? Some bong water?
Smoking Water, yeah. And have a liquor bottle.
He has some stuff with Young Word also on YouTube. Mm-hmm. If you just go and type that in, he has some. He's not half bad either.
I'll do some research. I'm always looking to play new artists, because I have a mix show on Wednesdays, Flowers, where we play music.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I started playing your music last week when I got it. So, with everybody that comes sits down with me, I continue to play their music. Once we have a relationship, it's easy to look out, and I like looking out for people, I like watching new artists come about and do their thing.
Thank you.
Let me see here with my old man glasses. You got some songs, old school. Why don't we get into old school? Talk about it real quick. What brought about old school?
Old school is just, see, this is another song I got a lot of hate for, but y'all can kiss my ass. That is just
You said people hate it. You've got hateful.
Oh no, yeah, I got hateful comments on that all the time.
Oh, you got hateful comments on this song?
Yeah, I got hateful comments on this song.
Okay.
People saying it's trash, but you know what? I'm 27. I don't give a damn.
Well, apparently to Tom McDonald, that's like a good thing when you get hateful comments. He gets a lot of hateful comments.
That brings more out of me because I love it. I love it. I love the hate because it inspires me more. But that's just old time in my life. You know, back in the day, what I had to go through when I was younger. You know, had to deal with people coming up to me, trying to hurt me, trying to kill me all the time in middle school, stuff like that.
You had people trying to hurt you and kill you in middle school?
All the time. I was always...
That's deep. What was that about? Girls, money, power, drugs?
Just because it was me. I was honestly, ever since elementary to middle school, I was always bullied on, all that stuff like that. That's what made me, you know... I was always short, scrawny kid. That's why I was like, nah, I'm gonna be like that. I started.
So you were a victim of actual bullying, because during your lifetime, that's when it actually became a big deal. You know?
Yeah. But I wasn't one, you know, just sit on my ass. Nah, hell no, I ain't gonna sit and mope about it. I'm gonna, you know, taught myself how to fight. You know, how to teach myself how to fight by myself, and so everything. Had to teach everything by myself.
How do you like YouTube, Google? How do you do that? That sounds tough.
Life.
Now I had a brother and a father. They were not fighters. They didn't teach me how to fight. I learned how to fight by getting hit right here. That's how I learned how to fight. That's how I learned how to fight.
Hey, that's how some people learn how to fight. Boom, take a little tap. No,
you figure it out.
I had a grandfather. He was there. My dad wasn't there, but I had a grandfather. But he was my grandpa was always working all the time. He did what he could.
God bless
Shout out to him. He did what he could. But I was always hard head trying to be in the streets all the time. You know.
Right. Well, that brings about a certain amount of foolishness, no matter who you are.
Exactly. And exactly why stuff happened the way it happens. But yeah, just a time in my life where everybody was trying to get at me at the time, and I finally decided I was gonna fight back. And middle school came up, and everybody was telling me, hey, don't go that way because they all got knives waiting for you. Don't go that way because they got knives waiting for you.
And you went anyway, right?
Walked in anyway.
Nuggy G is old school. Let's get into old school.
Let's go.
Here. Oh, hold on. There we go. Respect the underground. Icon Radio right here. Nuggy G.
Creep inside the mind. Take you back in time. Take you back in time. Yeah. Creep inside the mind.
Respect the underground radio.
Back in the day, used to sit on lecture boxes and flip knots. Used to laugh and ran from the cops. Who knew the destiny that he had planned for me? I was the black sheep of my motherfucking family. Daddy didn't want me, mama deserted me. Grandmama tried to keep me from all that was hurting me. Then I got to school, they talked about hurting me. Talked about cut this loser up like some surgery. That's when I learned the word is dark and cold. That you stand alone, lest you grip and chrome. Military mentality, the demon that's inside of me. I dance with the devil and I say it's so proud to be scary to these pussy hoes and be acting so cowardly. Step inside the mind of a man who had everything. House, a fancy car, some wild ass cheddar seat. Learn how to flip a brick, put that shit together, G. Pass that shit around till he got too curious. Tried a little line, now he's acting delirious. Lost it all and came back with some holy scriptures. Been stabbed in my back by my own family. Who knew they were the one moving so savagely? Told a fuck that, came up and I was out of G. Came my own way, came up and now I'm rolling trees. Stacking up my cheddar, looking like I got a money tree. Practicing that alchemy, the wife up on the balcony. Smoking on exotic tree, rest in peace and Nipsey. Throwing up the big C's, dance with the devil. Could last you an eternity. Give him your soul and he'll give you this fame. You see, be careful what you wish for, cause he destroys whole entire families. Look inside the mind of a man who had everything. I dance with the devil and I say it's so proud of me. Scared to the minds of those be acting so cowardly. Nuggy G back in the day be acting so holy.
Yeah, respect the underground. Roll up, Nuggy G right here live. Saturday Spotlight, Icon Radio, home of quality, independent music. It's the mission. I like that, Nuggy. You got the long play out. The long talk over at the end in the radio biz. You got the long talk over.
That was a Immortal Technique type inspired music right there.
I got you.
That was the underground.
11:57 on the dial right here at Icon Radio, home of quality independent music. Respect the underground worldwide radio. Let's chill that out. Yeah. All right. So you grew up in Arizona. You started rapping 3 months ago. I know you're brand new. At this. You're new man in the game. What the fuck is your plan? Like, what is you're just starting out?
I'm trying to show my kids that you don't have to be 9 to 5 every day.
Right. Okay.
I'm trying to prove to my kids that you don't have to be.
That's a valiant goal.
That's the main thing too, because now my kids see me write music. Now they see me on YouTube. I put it on the TV. Daddy, you're on TV.
Right.
So now they're like, ooh, my dad's on TV. Maybe I want to take me on TV now. I'm giving my kids a whole bunch of choices other than just
I wish we could get a zoom in right now. Nuggy G's eyes are as red as stoplights at the break of midnight. What strain is that? Because I'm so old, my eyes don't get like that anymore.
My eyes used to.
I don't know if it's the years of Visine or if because I have a child, I just don't smoke as heavy as I used to. My eyes don't get that red anymore, Nuggy G. I want them to. Please advise. How do I get eyes that red? Please.
A lot of smoking. We've been smoking all day, honestly.
All day.
If you look at my lady right there. She can. That's her eyes right now. She's
okay.
Chinese.
The lady. Everybody.
You can see Tiny right here.
I see Tiny. Everybody's eyes low.
We had like 3 joints at the
copious
house.
Copious amounts of cannabis. Okay.
A lot.
What do you think of why we're talking about cannabis? Have you ever been to True Med?
I've been there one time. I'm actually because a lot of places I can't find good quality.
Right.
They say
not at True Med. You didn't like True Med's quality?
I went one time and that was like a year ago.
Right. Okay.
But other than that, I've been right where I'm at because it's right there, down the street.
Right. Well, I think that's what it is for a lot of people. It's the one that's closest because you can always buy. Don't get me wrong, you can buy quality cannabis at most of these places, whether it's in-house or whether it's another brand,
Yeah, depending on what it is and stuff like that, at the time.
Right. For me, I like mine crystally and like sticky and with a real strong smell. Other than that, I don't need to know any other the details as long as it could be that. It seems like do you go to
Purple Punch?
Yeah, Purple Punch is dope.
Purple Punch.
You like that?
That right there is amazing. It's actually.
Did it just jump into your brain? It looked like you just took a hit and it said pow and like
boom.
Yeah.
That right there. I don't.
Okay, well, what do you like? Do you care between shatter, wax, batter? I'm taking you as my young guru right now.
Yeah.
Which one? I know there's a lot of price difference from diamonds all the way down to shatter.
Yeah,
which one do you care about?
It depends on how you're trying to smoke it because some people will get it in the blunt, like they'll get like the bubble hash or they'll get the keef.
And if you could crumble or something, you want to roll it and throw it in the blunt.
Throw it in the blunt.
If you're dabbing, do you care one to the other? If you're dabbing,
yeah, I do. Like I don't like that real terpy sauce kind of stuff. Like if it's too wet, I don't like to do that.
Is that a waste? Does that seem like a waste?
I think it's a waste because it's just like water, just evaporates.
Tiny says yes, emphatically yes. Tiny says emphatically yes.
He's a connoisseur as well.
I believe it. No doubt.
But yeah, if it's too terpy and too like that, I won't do it. If it's the butter, I like to put it like a taco. I like to get my wax. I get the little terp sauce, and then I'll get the butter and put it in there, make a taco, and throw it in my my Evolve Plus pan. You smoke that. That is amazing right there.
Butter and something else. And I got an Evolve Plus pen. I throw it down in there. What kind of coil do you have? Just a regular double?
The regular one that comes with a little double coil. Yeah, I ain't trying to do too crazy.
I don't know. I'm learning. It's fun to learn all this shit, but I like some good advice, and I feel like a fella named Nuggy G can help me out with that.
All day.
So HWC is the dispensary. Indica's the strain. Are you a drinking man at all? Do you partake?
I partake when I can. I'm actually after I leave here, I'm gonna start drinking because it was my birthday yesterday. I had to work overtime, so
Well, happy birthday to you.
Appreciate that. 27 years
to
young, so about to go partake in all that. But she's actually a big drinker. She drinks more than I do. So
smoky and drinky, huh? That's a good combination. Smoking and drinking.
Yeah.
Smoking and drinking.
It's a good combo right there. They kind of equal each other out right there.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear, Nuggy. We're gonna play another one of your songs, and we'll get out of here. So again, I thank you so much for coming in. How about
knock this off one of my bucket lists?
Most Wanted. What is this? Someone Most Wanted.
That one right there is inspired by my family, my wife, and my kids. Right there. That's actually from me. Actually being on the streets, not having nowhere to go, having bad times.
We didn't even get into that. You've been homeless before?
Oh, I've been homeless before. I've been there rough, and back, and I'm the come up story.
That's rough. So you went to high school. You had a certain amount of life. Yeah, you hit a rough patch. And ended up homeless.
Pretty much hit a rough patch for a couple of years.
Right. Wow. But you made it back though. That's
made
the
it
key.
back. Made it back, and then made everything.
Well, I'm sure
good.
that's an inspiration, and you could help a lot of people with that message, man. It's not too late. You can bounce back.
I can. But this is the bounce back. I'm sitting here in this chair talking to you right now. This is a big bounce back.
Right, it is. From
sleeping in a better,
no doubt.
From sleeping in a better rocks to sitting here with DJ Swerve.
And no doubt, I see the men and women out here doing it. I don't understand it, man. Especially during the summer, it's crazy, man.
You got to be strong mental, man. If you're not strong mental, you're gonna fall. You gotta have a strong mental out here.
Right. Did you ever have anybody try to jack you for your shit while you out there?
All the time.
That's an everyday thing.
It's an everyday thing. You just got to be strong. You got to sit there like Rambo.
Hey man, I thank you for coming in, man. I'm so glad you made it, man.
Blessings, man.
I appreciate you sharing your experience and journey with us. And as your mission grows and gets bigger, we're gonna rock with you, and hopefully you come back in. All right.
Salute.
Nuggy G on the mission.
Respect the underground.
That's it. Let's get into it right here. Ending with the ones for the seas. Shout out to your children, man. God bless you.
Let's go.
Looking out for
Park
them.
South neighborhood. Let's go.
Everything's a true story.
Respect the underground radio.
Realize. All the way up. Jimmy on the beat, boy. Ever since a youngin', I always wanted to be someone. Never thought the day would come where I'd ever need someone. Fighting for my life to make it right. With my kids and wife, wandering the streets, blisters all up in my feet. I need to eat, but I'm serving up all these hungry fiends, breaking down the pack, make it stack, put it in the lag. Nuggy's back. Now I'm all under attack from these whack street hitters talking about watch your back, and that's a fact. All they really do is act. They don't wanna see you shine. They don't wanna see you grind, and that's a fact. On your back, then attack. Trey 5-7 to your dome, then we blow it back like the top of the smoke gray lag. Hey, lil' bro. They ever tell you ain't gonna be nothing? If you can't do nothing, tell him shut the fuck up, stay 10 toes down. Look up to the sky, know he got your back. That's right. Ever since a youngin', I always wanted to be someone. Never thought the day would come where I'd ever need someone. 3 children now, never thought that I would make it out of the street life. I'm living better now. I'm on my couch, smoking loud without a frown. This my town, this my team. 2 triple beams, laser beam, make her scream over this dope dick like a fucking fiend. Shoot you up, shoot a scene, movie scene. Live your life, live your dream. Never let another man make you or break you, or show him what that K do. Show him how it made you. Show him how you erase him. Show him how to put his face on a t-shirt. Trey 5-7 never jamming, yeah my bitch she squirt. Trey 5-7 never jamming, yeah my bitch she squirt. Ever since a youngin', I always wanted to be someone. Never thought the day would come where I'd ever need someone. Never thought that shit. Bless up, know he got your back. Bless up, always got your back. Bless up.
Hey, that's it right there. Nuggy G performing December 3rd at Exodus over there with that friend Emmy at Exodus. December 3rd, the Trap House. That's Nuggy G right there on the one and only
Respect the underground.
Affiliated with shout out to the guy John Blaze. Shout out to the CEO Justice Samuels. Hey, we're doing it here today. We got a big show. That was the Saturday Spotlight with Nuggy G. I'll make sure I get some pictures with them. We get a little something going on right here like this. Yeah. All right, a little music break. We'll be right back. Hold tight. Hey, it is Saturday right here at the Mission. Let me turn that down a little bit. Let's mellow that out. I got something special today I want to show y'all. Now, of course, I'm wearing Primary Breadwinners merch ever since they were on the Swerve and Kane podcast, the show that came before the Mission. They supported me with some merch, and I have been supporting them by telling everybody about them, showing their merch off. Again, I'm wearing it today. PBW, Primary Breadwinners. Those guys, along with Exotic Pop, are great guys. Today I have something a little different. I've got some real fan stuff here. I went and let me cool that out. I went and bought some merch, right? Because one of my early people in the Arizona music hip hop scene, I became a fan of playing their music at some of the AZMT shows and watching him perform at the anniversary show. I am a big fan of De La Prime. De La Prime partnered with Feral Streetwear. These are the stickers, if you can see those in the camera. And these are great. This is the type of shit fans love. I'm going to be putting them on my turntable case, if it will, or my mixer box, whatever. Stickers that came with this. Shout out to Feral Streetwear and Mr. Skiggity, Mr. Skirtus Blow, right here. Right here. See, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful looking merch. The shirt is very soft. I'm going to be wearing it at my next occasion when I'm trying to impress somebody. So thanks to De La Prime, thanks to Feral Streetwear. They were great business to work with, easy breezy. I put in my order. They emailed me with every update. The shirt came in a timely manner. Very nice, very great material. So again, shout out to Feral Streetwear and De La Prime. They sold out. You can't get any this time around. That's a dead stock item right there now because they all sold out. And so salute to them for operating a very successful merch project. And next guest is in the building. We're having him in today. I refer to him as the Podcast King. I think he is very entertaining to listen to. A mixed mash of styles, and he keeps everyone in tune with the culture of what's happening in the world, but especially here in Phoenix, AZ. Let me put on some music, and we'll bring in Myke Terrell. Hold on 1 second. On the mission, respect the underground, Icon Radio. Let's go.
Respect Underground Radio.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, sitting down with me today, definitely one of the most entertaining people on social media that I have ran into, a broadcaster, a former rapper, a host, a definite, hold on, let me cool that down. I think it's just the headphones, I'll cool this in. A definite broadcaster, a definite podcaster, an ex-rapper I hear, definitely a critique on culture. And a person who brings us the culture with a sharp wit every single day on social media. Please, everybody, I can get you a little applause for Myke Terrell. Myke Terrell, please, in the room. Yes. Am I saying your name right? I always like to make
Terrell,
sure.
Myke
Terrell,
yeah.
Terrell,
Myke
not Terrell.
Yeah.
See, that's how. It seems like white people always put the accent in the wrong place. I apologize. Terrell.
Yeah, Myke Terrell. Yeah,
Myke Terrell. Easy enough. What happened to Two-Tone the Superstar?
Two-Tone the Superstar?
Does he still live somewhere inside of Myke?
Yes. Two-Tone.
Probably forever, right?
Yes. Two-Tone always comes out. I was actually Two-Tone for Halloween, actually.
Oh, I thought that was Rick Ross.
Yeah, that was Two-Tone.
Oh, that was
slash Rose.
That was Two-Tone in the modern rap era.
Yes, modern rap era.
Okay, and that was a great costume. I'm sure everybody got a kick out of that.
Oh yeah, they love that shit.
Yeah.
They love it. They love it. I had the fake jewels popping.
Before we get started, we won't start here, but I just want to let you know I wore my only pair of Lebrons for you today.
See?
This is the only pair I own, and I have the rest of Jordans, but I wore the one pair of Lebrons just for you.
Come on, man.
Come
on, man.
Because I know you're a big LeBron fan, according to everybody online, Richie Grands and all them guys. They tell me how big of a fan of LeBron you are.
I love LeBron off the court.
He's a great social. He's a great social activist, huh? Right.
Love LeBron.
Stays on the court for the whole game when it comes to social activity. Yes. They're good for him. All right, before we start, I've got some beverages over here. I've got a quart of water. I've got a fruit juice. I've got a beer. I've got like a sparkling, fruity, liquor, White Claw-ish beverage. What would you like a beverage to start the show with?
Quarter water. Is that straight from the bodega?
Yeah, it's the old school. I mean, I keep them at my house. We didn't get it straight from the bodega. I got it from like Costco or somewhere.
Do you still got the Mike Hard lemonade?
No, I think for that option this week we have an Old English 800 malt liquor.
Oh hell.
Or Pepsi. I do have a Pepsi Cola.
The OE?
You want the OE? You can have one or all, but I just usually ask which one do you want first. Would you like that? That's right there. That's a real deal. Only thing's missing is the brown paper bag.
You got. Let me get the White Claw, the white boy.
White, yeah.
Let me get the ASU shit.
Okay, no, that's cool. Like a cider or an orange? One's
see.
like an apple cider. One's like a blood orange.
Let me get that apple cider.
Okay, there you go. There you go. And then, like I said, there's plenty of other stuff over here, and you can have whatever you want during the interview.
Austin cider?
We just start one off. Yeah, my wife bought those. That's probably the extra white shit that, they hadn't even hit It's similar to White Claw, but they just can't buy the goddamn White Claw. They're always looking for the next one or something. I don't know what's going on with that.
This is the section where the black people in the fries, they don't look at this section.
Yeah, I know. Black people don't even know that shit exists. No. Yeah, I know. It does. If you drink one of those and you go to a farmer's market and you go, to Panera in the same day, your credit does go up 2 points, though.
2 points credit increase?
Just like that. Those are the secrets that white people have. They don't tell everybody. Y'all want to know how the Illuminati works? I'm here to help. All right, so we went with the White Claw-ish thing. Joseph Bills did as well. He took an actual White Claw, and I had a Four Loko in the bag. When the interview was over, he took the Four Loko home. So he started with the White Claw, ended with the Four Loko.
And snagged the Four Loko?
That was a lot of respect. I respected that.
And his last name is Bills.
His last name is Bills.
That is disrespectful.
Yeah. Well, I just want to start the show and say I'm obviously a fan. I'm a fan of yours. I wanted to talk to you, and that's why you're here.
Appreciate you, brother.
You have a very entertaining presence, and we can talk about all that. I want to start at the beginning, and I'm not playing black background music anymore because Snoop Dogg's PIMP shut down the YouTube video around the world. You blocked it. You couldn't even watch it. So I'm trying to get to a point with no music, so maybe we can take the podcast to an official, maybe Apple or Spotify type arena where, of course, you can't have music. We'll edit it out, whatever we got to do. Some quick questions, and we'll get into some real talk.
Okay.
Blunt, regular paper, cigarette paper, or a good book? Meaning, do you smoke medicine? Do you smoke cannabis?
Yeah, occasionally.
Occasionally, a little bit.
Yes, when the party's cracking.
Okay. Oh, when it's something to do. Okay, you're not just a casual smoker. Beer, liquor, or water?
Ooh, beer, liquor. I like me some good liquor. Okay. 1800 Red Bull.
Okay. All right. So you got a combination, and you talk about the clubs like you seem to have experience with the clubs.
Oh,
do you have experience with the clubs?
Since 2009.
I'm an older man. Those days are behind me. I don't club anymore, so we can talk about all that as well. When it comes to tacos, are you beef, pork, or fish?
Oh, what's Al Pastor? Is that beef?
That's pork.
Carnita?
I'm pretty sure.
Pork?
I thought Pastor.
I like Al Pastor.
Okay, I think maybe you can do maybe Pastor's the season, and you can do that pork and beef. I'm not sure. I'm the wrong one to be asking.
Now, is it?
East
or cow tongue?
On the East Coast, we didn't even. I thought that was like tripe or something. But on the East Coast, we didn't even have Mexicans until like 1995.
For real?
Yeah, it took a while. We had Puerto Ricans and a few Cubans, but we didn't have any Mexicans until like 1995. They took a while to get there.
I like Puerto Rican
so
rice.
I'm learning all about Southwest and Native and Chicano culture.
Okay.
So, but luckily, I hope I won't get the pop test. I won't get the quiz today from you. Well, that's good. Where did you grow up in Arizona? Where did you grow up at?
I did. I was born in Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
And I was raised in Maryville, West Phoenix.
So you moved here pretty young.
Yeah, 1987.
Okay, yeah. Well, that must have been very young. You're a younger man. When I say growing up, I mean first date, high school, all that kind of stuff. Man,
yeah, real shit.
Yeah, the real shit. You learn about life. Okay, and you apparently started out as a rapper. What influenced you to get into rap music?
In the music, my dad was actually a manager of music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Already in the industry.
Already.
Great.
So when he had got custody of me and my brother, and we came out to Arizona, he took me to his studio. So I was always around music. He was managing acts and doing all that. He already was managing music, and I was like, dang. And then I got introduced to hip hop, started writing. It was start spitting these bars, start cooking niggas, roasting niggas. I actually became the best rapper in Arizona history for a quick moment.
Right. Okay.
Till my career got ended by Rocky Tirade.
Okay. All right. Well, we can talk about all that now. Just for record, did anyone else claim you the best rapper in Arizona history, or was that self-proclaimed?
Couple hoes.
Couple of hoes
Some yams
in the middle of coitus or after. Yeah. Okay.
Couple hoes was like,
couple hoes like, man, you got the crown, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the ability to crown yourself. Either way, I appreciate that. And what was that event that said stop? I missed the term. It wasn't familiar to me. What was the term that you said stopped your rap or your reign as the king of Arizona?
I got cooked in a battle by artist out here named Rocky Tirade.
Okay.
He actually runs Black Lives Matter out here.
Okay, so you actually were battle rapped as well back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love battle rap.
Okay.
Cannabis, all that. I love battle rap.
Okay. Yeah, cannabis was heavy. Everybody loved cannabis for a good.
Grew up on Clue
while.
tapes. You from New York? Clue tapes, heavy.
Yeah. I'm from Virginia, but very East Coast minded. We grew up on New York.
Oh yeah, you from
hip-hop.
Richmond, Virginia, right?
Richmond, Virginia.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I miss some of that. It was what's going on there, and I'm also happy to kind of be here as well as it goes on because it's heavy, it's tough. You know, we don't need to get into the heavy part quite yet. Who was your inspiration to get into hip hop? Whether it was a national artist or a friend or family member, what was to take it serious? Seems like you took it serious for a while. Looked like you burnt some CDs. You made some cover art. You did some real. You was really doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, like well, from my neighborhood was like Mike Mill. He's a Maryville legend. He inspired me. NWA inspired me.
Okay.
I don't know, my friend Nico G, my best friend Nico G, like we would just be rhyming. So we was like, shit, let's try to press some shit up and put it out there and go platinum.
Yeah, it's a good spirit, good independent spirit.
Still,
no, that's all right. You tried though. You tried, and I'm a firm believer. I hope that a lot of our, the things we do in life lead us to a place maybe where we're at our best. I mean, I think.
Right.
I don't know. Didn't quite get all the way into your music. I poked around and tried to find it.
You try to find my music?
A little bit.
Oh, hell no.
But I didn't do enough research. I didn't find anything because you were rapping in that era where it's no telling where your music was. Now I didn't go. I probably should have gone to that Piff. I didn't take the time to go to that Piff or.
Do I have anything on there?
I don't know. I researched the SoundCloud. Maybe you were pre-SoundCloud. I just couldn't. You were in that era where
I was MySpace era.
Music could be anywhere. Right.
Yeah.
Right. MySpace. Right.
MySpace.
That was definitely the precursor to everything going on.
Back when you would upload the MP3s to the websites.
I still as well have like 4 songs on a MySpace site somewhere out there.
Hidden?
If you can find it. No, they're not hidden. They're just nobody. Whoever's running around MySpace, feel free. So once you got beaten in a rap battle, did that stop your whole rap career? Did you decide to do something else at that point, or did that just slow it down? Because that is a big blow, especially when you believed yourself to be the king of Arizona, Phoenix, AZ hip hop at the time. That must have been a big blow to lose a battle.
That was definitely a blow to my ego.
It's a blow to everybody, but I mean, yeah.
So once I got destroyed, my best friend, one of my best friends named Rich Rico, Mexican artist from out here.
Okay.
He came to my apartment. He said he wanted to rap. I was like, okay, I can use my clout and help push you. So I turned my full attention into pushing Rich Rico.
Okay.
And he, you could research it. He became one of the hottest artists in Arizona. He was a Mexican artist, and he would rap Mexican trap music. So he was talking about paisas, moving dope across the border.
Sounds interesting. Yeah. So you found out maybe at that point that you kind of knew the formula because you kind of took what you did for yourself and did it for somebody else. Did it occur to you at that time like, hey, I might know what I'm doing here as far as putting somebody forth or presenting an artist kind of?
Yeah, because at that time I was like, how can I get Rich Rico, because he's a new artist, nobody knew him, so how can I get his music played? So I decided, okay, let me go to these promoters and see if I can host their club night.
Okay.
And for hosting their club night, you can play my artist.
Great segue, by the way.
Right.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
So I became a, well, this when Twitter first came out anyway.
Okay.
So when Twitter first broke, people kind of like my personality online, so they like my tweets and stuff. And promoters are, he's funny. So I was like, well, I can promote your show, I can tweet your show, but in exchange, go ahead and place my artists at your club night, let them perform, and that's way it popped.
So you kind of became a manager and a host at just a spur of life at the same time, it sounds like.
Yeah, same time, yeah.
And so it seems like from listening to you talk at other places, it seemed like you really enjoyed hosting once you started hosting. Was it just to service the artists, or did you actually enjoy that process? Because it's a lot easier than being a rapper. I've done both. I've hosted a lot of events.
Okay.
And hosting is so relaxing and fun compared to performing a 20-minute set somewhere.
Right. Well, when I was rapping, I wouldn't get no money.
Right, that's true.
I wasn't getting paid.
I feel you on that. I feel you. I got you.
I wasn't getting paid nothing. So when the promoter said, "Okay, I'll let you host," so the first night, I believe, it was a promoter by the name of, I did work with a promoter by the name of Plus Game back in the day. But my first real host, it was inside of a club. So when I walked into the club, the promoter handed me $150. Just handed it to me. And you got to think, being a rapper for all those years and not getting paid, now you're about to pay me just to get on stage.
Up front as well, it sounds like. Yeah, he paid you up front.
Yeah, I was like.
Rare for rap, even if you do get paid, you get paid up front. Yeah.
So they gave me that, and I was like, shit, this shit is fun. Then that time I'm young, so I'm getting free drinks. There's yams everywhere.
Ladies, the attention of the yams.
Attention, getting popular. I got my artists. So at certain point, hosting was fun as fuck. Then it just turned dark.
What happened? What happened with it? I never got that far into it for it to go dark. What happened? The cocaine, the prostitutes, the meth. What happened?
What happened? No Molly's. It just got dark, bro. Like the nights of not remembering days, like literally drinking every single day.
Right. It turned into a whole lifestyle. It was a whole job for you. It was a whole thing. So you didn't have a day job. You were just hosting.
Yeah, I got to the point where hosting began to pay my bills.
Right. That's an incredible place to be, but it sounds like you said, it became overwhelming.
Too overwhelming. And naturally,
a job becomes a job. I tell that to people all the time. No matter what you think is fun, and I'm sure porn star people could relate, but there's been many DJ gigs where I just wanted to stay home, but you can't. In entertainment, you got to show up, you got to do it. But like anytime you do something like a job, in the way a job performs, it becomes a job, no matter how fun it is. And that's what you're telling us, that this great job, ladies giving me attention, free drinks. I don't have a real job. I just got to recoup during the day and get ready for the next night.
Right.
Became too much. Became troublesome.
Yeah.
Right.
It became like just.
Did you have women fighting over you that you hadn't even really made moves towards? Did you
yams?
have? Did you have? Excuse me, yams. Pardon me. For the rest of the show, I'll use the correct lingo. Did you have yams? Did you have yams causing trouble in your life when you haven't even really made a move, or did yams become part of this trouble? I'm a very married man. I've been with my wife for about 7 years, So like I just think maybe like I'm reminiscing with you and enjoying through your journey, but at the same time, yams can become a struggle and problem sometimes.
One time I was talking to a young lady, and then the lady that I was talking to, I really liked her more, so I started kissing her in the club.
Ooh.
And then the other girl saw it, and she left. That was at a younger age. That was
right.
Before, I'm in a
wasn't a smart
relationship
move.
now.
Right, wasn't a smart move.
No.
I used to promote small shows in Richmond, and it was a small venue, only held about 100 people, and a guy was going to rap that night, and he showed up way too early, and both of the women he invited to the show showed up way too early. So you're talking about a room that held 100 people. There was only about 20 people there, and he was there with both women trying to dip and dodge. He had a rough night, He
was on his Ty Dolla Sign.
He was on his Ty Dolla Sign, right. That's right.
He was paranoid in the club.
Now, to my understanding, I know you have the Hatrix, and I know you have AZ is Better, and I think that kind of sums up the dichotomy maybe that is Myke Terrell. What I know, and I've heard that you've been a huge critic of Arizona hip hop.
Yes.
And now you definitely seem to see some highlights and some future and things on the horizon. So I'll give you the two-pronged question: what is wrong with Arizona hip hop, and what is right about it?
Let's see, what is right about Arizona hip hop?
Because you've been around a long time. Most of us are newbies, like me, 3, 5, 10 years in. You've been here the whole time, through Hot Rod and Willie North Pole, and
right.
You know, a lot of the ups and downs that come and go. So I really respect your opinion. So I'm gonna be quiet and listen to your answer.
What's right about Arizona hip hop?
You can start with what's wrong if it's
what's
easier. whatever, however you want to tackle it.
What's wrong? I think we've always had mistiming. I think we've never had the perfect timing. Like when Willie, like, just imagine if Willie North Pole would have been cracking in this era. Like, I believe the people would have been behind him, knowing that, okay, he has a major record deal. Ludacris is with him. Like, in this era, we don't have somebody like let's say a Rick Ross standing next to a J-Rob the Chief.
Right.
Or a Jay-Z standing next to somebody. During that era, when Ludacris was standing next to Willie, it immediately turned into, oh, shit, I got to get my shit together. Which is fine.
People became competitive. Instead of accepting him as a leader or following suit, maybe.
Thinking business-wise, we're like,
right.
If I push Willie through the door, then we all going to come to the door.
Do you think there was more, was it more or less, or was it just different? Let's say the infrastructure of Arizona hip-hop, the independent artist, was it? Because it's a lot now. Coming from where I come from, to me, it's a lot. And it's a lot of hip rappers everywhere, to be honest. But as far as the infrastructure, or when you're saying things you would like to see it happen now, do you feel like the infrastructure is more ready to support that kind of movement now? Is that what you're alluding to?
Yes, 100%. You got to think. We have this radio station, RTU, Worldwide Radio. We have Daniel and Tita Podcast. We have the Hatrix, AZ's Better. Right now, we have those platforms. So let's say T.I. says, look, I want to sign J-Rob the Chief, but I really want to stand next to him. Like, he's going to be with me in videos. He's going to be this way. I believe the state would get behind that type of movement. Right now, in this era, we just don't see it. But granted, in this era, it's 100% more talented than it was in my era.
Okay.
The talent level is just ridiculous.
I see a lot of talent, so I'm glad we agree on that.
Yeah, the talent's crazy right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of talent. Do you feel like there's working here at RTU, and since I've been in the Phoenix area, I've been here 3 years, it seems like there's a bit of a disconnect from commercial radio. And I know you had a huge campaign to get African American or a black host during prime time during the day, and I think you were successful with that. Am I correct?
You are correct.
And should we? I feel like people have told me we should give you a partial, if not most of the credit for that. How do you feel? Do you agree with that?
No, there was a lot of people that was working on it.
Was there a big push
behind the scenes?
Because I know you pushed for it.
I was mainly the face of it.
Okay.
But we did end up getting Jello on Power 98.3, which is a start.
It doesn't seem like major artists come through here and interview. Now, mind you, I don't listen to commercial radio. It's never really been my bag. I've never really asked for a job at commercial radio. People have always told me, you should be in radio. It's never really been what I've been interested in. It doesn't. I don't seem to hear the major artists get interviewed on the radio though here, like I did maybe in Richmond. Do you think the artists come to Phoenix, or does the radio interview them and I'm just missing it? What's good?
They still, like, don't get me wrong, they still come out here.
Okay,
like, they still come out here. Radio, even though a lot of people don't listen to the radio, record labels still believe that radio is still a huge part.
Well, it's the arm.
It's
a sales arm of the major record label system. You know, it's how they advertise their product, basically.
Yeah. So they definitely come out here. It's just that I believe in, like, podcasts. We have white podcasts, Mexican podcasts, Asian podcasts, black podcasts. It's more diverse.
Sure.
Hip hop radio in Arizona, there was not one single black person in a main position, and you're talking about hip hop culture, then I
wanted to sign up, but I figured I wouldn't qualify, so I just decided to come here instead. I was like, well, I know all. No, that's not what it is.
Yeah, so like I wanted it to be where it's like more diverse, and we be able to have like those voices. Like,
sure.
I'm listening to Power 98 the other day, and Jello, he's talking about how to freak your ramen noodles. We weren't get that conversation before.
Right.
He's not telling us how to freak. He's giving us like, okay, this is how we freak it. You add the cheese, this and that. I'm like, cool. Somebody that I can listen to the radio, but okay, I can relate to him.
This may sound like a white man phrase, but that sounds like jail. I'm very familiar with jail culture because not that I've ever been, but I love to watch it on the internet, as a lot of people do.
60 Days
in.
And
all that, all the shows, the people that just got out, the big Bussin' Cheeks, that guy, and there's a bunch of people. And Wallow, of course, from the $1 Million Worth of Game.
Yeah.
But yeah. Freaking the noodles sounds like jail culture to me, and I often worry that porn and jail culture and gang culture are kind of running mainstream life these days.
Facts.
Between everybody's blue or red, that's gang culture. A lot of what the girls are wearing is close to porn culture. Trump is definitely wrestling, if
red,
not whatever. Yeah, he's definitely. So here we are. Nonetheless, before we get off of commercial radio, like I said, I'm new here, but I have some ears to the street. And correct me if I'm wrong. They told me that you personally were offered a gig on commercial radio, and that you turned it down. Would that be correct or a statement or no?
No, that's 100% false.
So you never got offered a job on commercial radio.
They never said, Myke Terrell, this is how much we're going to pay you.
Tell us. Well, that's when you. Hey, one of the reasons I started learning about commercial radio before I started working there, and that's one of the downfalls when I learned that a lot of guys I looked up to were still working a part-time job 10, 15 years in. Tell us about that experience. What happened with commercial? Why didn't Myke Terrell connect with commercial radio?
Well, I started working at Ground Zero.
It sounds like something happened.
Yeah.
They didn't technically offer you a job with a number behind it, but it sounds like there was some kind of connection. Something happened there.
Well, when Justice from RTU here, he started a campaign that that radio station Power did not care about Arizona hip hop.
He promised me he's not coming in today. I promise.
Oh, even if he's not coming in. So he started whooping the radio ass. Not
right.
Like
I remember
really
that
beating.
campaign. No, the billboards they ran, and it was a huge. 98.3 doesn't care about hip hop and all.
So
that,
he
right?
put pressure on them. Like,
yes.
So they back us probably against the wall, and they asked me to get on the show because I'm very critical of Arizona hip hop, and I was a voice out here. So they asked me to get on the show. I was like, cool. So I got on the show with old Jesus and all them. And then, like, we did the show for about a year. It was crack. To me, that was the best that show's ever been because, like, I was on there. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
The GOAT's on it. No, I'm joking.
No, but I mean, hey, honesty and bluntness in commercial radio is always a refreshing thing.
Yeah. And then we brought Marlon Taylor on there.
Okay.
Great comedian. They brought him on the show. One night it was just me and Marlon Taylor on there by ourselves. And we should have got fired that night. Because the shit just turned into like some hood shit.
I got you.
In that radio station's history, ain't never been no hood shit like that before. But that was the best show they've ever had on it, in my opinion. And then I guess Jesus didn't want to do the show no more. He wanted to be with his family, which is understandable. But it was never no communication of, we want to bring you on, Myke. We want to pay you this and this and that. So I was like, I'm out.
Okay. Because there was a rumor. I'll go ahead and tell you the whole full rumor.
Yeah,
let me get the rumor. The rumor was that they were going to give you your own show and that you didn't want to work your board. You didn't want to work the board yourself.
Learn the board?
And you said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm out. I'm not doing it.
They
What? Wait. Every rumor's got a little bit of truth in it. It sounds like.
I didn't learn the board because you
Right.
have to pay me to learn the board.
I got you. You didn't want
But-
radio does like a lot of stuff for free. They're used to getting a lot of things for
Right.
free or for a trade for ad or whatever.
Right.
They're used to working that way, and especially when you're working your way in, interns, all this kind of thing. They really like free. They really like a deal. Let's put it that way.
And like I hosted 2 shows for them for free, and
You felt like you had already paid your dues, or you'd already, yeah.
Like,
and you had something that was moving. You had something that was moving.
I brought them the Musty Awards. And the Musty Awards was cracking. Like
Right,
it was
I
cracking.
bet.
Ask the artist that was at the Musty Awards. They was like, this shit is lit.
Do you think sometimes radio programmers and more, people that are more college, I hate to say it, but college trained to do radio, do you think they miss the impact that black culture has, or how persuasive or how incredibly entertaining it is? I mean, black culture has been a big part of my life, and I think it's so persuasive now that people don't even realize sometimes that they're laughing at black culture. They just think, oh, that guy's funny. They don't
Right.
realize. And I think easily in Phoenix, people could look over that and not realize all the fun that they're having, or especially for the radio programmers, not realize how much Latino, regular old white folks, Russian, Germans, whoever, like I think they might confuse and think that, oh, just black people will get this, not realizing that black culture is a huge part of all of our entertainment these days. So you can't pigeonhole. You can't say, oh, those black guys are just going to bring in the 8% of Phoenix's black population or whatever. No, we laugh at, we still laugh at it in Living Color, at Martin, at Eddie Murphy, at all these things we still laugh at, and as someone who remembers hip-hop when it wasn't so persuasive and it looked very strange for white people to be involved in hip-hop.
Right.
Nowadays it's in cartoons, it's in cereal, it's everywhere. It's so persuasive that you don't really realize you're enjoying hip-hop culture anymore because it's so everywhere.
Right.
All right, well, we cleared up the radio we cleared up the radio nonsense. And I've, like I said, I've never asked for a job in commercial radio. It always seemed like a bad deal.
It's a lot of politics.
A lot of politics. And it's a lot of low pay.
It's generally a business.
Hard to generate your own money. Once you sign up with the team, you can't really do that at all, so that's tough. I mean, you can host things. You were already hosting, though. They couldn't really offer you something you hadn't already had.
Yeah, they didn't. My best friend Nico G, he said I should have learned the board just for future reference. Like I could have took that skill and went somewhere else with it. Mm-hmm. But I felt like if I paid my dues for a year, I was always on time, never high, drunk, sloppy.
Right.
Constant professional.
Never got the call from the SEC or anybody.
Never got the call from SEC.
Yeah.
I felt I paid my dues, and like even the program director was like, well, I didn't know. Like they didn't care.
Right.
They didn't care.
Right. Well, so now we leave we leave rapping, we leave hosting. We're not gonna work in commercial radio. All I know you from is basically Facebook and Instagram. When did you start? An important point earlier. It sounds like you basically started managing your homie's career, like you said, when Twitter came out, and you kind of learned how to utilize Twitter, and I'm sure that highlighted and helped you host and everything you've done as far as promotion, because promotion is everything these days. It seems like it's a lot of work when you need to be doing something every, once, twice a day, all week and everything. But when did you begin? When did you begin? It's very bold, your broadcast, because it's usually just you. I've seen you do product reviews, and I've seen you have some people sit in, but most of the time it's just you and a mic, and just you cracking that mic. We'll start with this. Who inspired you as a broadcaster? Because it's a different thing than rapping or hosting. Who inspired you as a broadcaster to crack that mic, like just one-on-one with a camera and speak to the world, really?
100% Star. From New York.
Okay.
Yes, Troy Terrain.
100%
Star.
I'm a big fan, as most people are.
Big inspiration. Like, when I was a kid, I heard like the Aaliyah stories, and I really didn't know him that much. So I got on YouTube And then I found his show, and I'm like, oh my God, like, this dude's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to be able where I can talk 30 minutes by myself with no guest host, no guests, and be able to entertain people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've been trying to like build up that repetition and build up that muscle of being able to crack that mic by myself and just be able to talk and get into my own thoughts. Charlemagne, big inspiration as well, and Howard Stern as well.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard you mention Howard Stern before, and I started there. I was a big fan of Howard Stern.
Yes.
Got into Opie and Anthony, got into Star and Buck Wild. I've been watching him since the very first broadcast, the ones that were public access in New York.
Okay.
But I only on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I didn't see them live, of course. But and the show was just raw. And then somewhere a year or two ago, with the Drink Champs and everything, I realized that everybody is trying to be Star and Buck Wild from 2000.
You think so?
Well, I mean, the Drink Champs definitely. I mean, that's a direct comparison. I mean, as far as
I'm not
having
really up on the Star and Buck Wild show.
You didn't see the public access?
No, I didn't.
You got to go back and check the public access shows. It's Star and Buck Wild sitting at a table, one camera facing them, bottles lined up.
Oh wow!
They're taking shots and drinks and actually drinking bread and things because they're getting literally drunk on air. And the thing that was so funny about them, I mean, they picked 5 celebrities and they went at them every week. Like this week, it's Busta Rhymes and J-Lo and whoever was popping back then, P. Diddy. And I mean, just you know how Star can go. That's how he would go at them because it was public access. They took callers. It's really crazy. You got to watch it.
I got to watch that.
I'm a big fan. Stern, not so much anymore. I feel like Stern's heyday was a long time ago.
He's out of his prime.
Changed a lot, and
he's not in his prime.
It's not to the benefit. I'm big, but yeah. When I must say, not as much. But when I first started watching you, there was a touch of Rush Limbaugh. Has anybody ever told you?
No, I never heard that.
There was. I think maybe it's in your cadence. Sometimes it seems like you're slowing yourself down a little bit on some things. And when you pause and you know, being a bigger guy, maybe take a breath.
Yeah.
You know, to me that was a bit Rush Limbaugh-ish.
Yeah,
but
I never
but
heard
like
that.
I said, that was kind of my first. Well, most of your fans probably aren't familiar with Rush Limbaugh. I worked in construction a lot of years, so whatever was on the radio, we listened to a lot. Usually it was classic rock because I worked with older guys. But, you know, I listened to some Rush Limbaugh, and it's just most of your fans wouldn't get that reference. But maybe it's just a good broadcasting. I don't know. So when did you actually start? Around what year or what platform was it? Facebook when you started? Just set up a camera, or
I had this is like because Rich Rico, my artist, he retired from rap. He wanted to be a family man.
Got it.
Hip hop went for him. I fully respected that.
It's hard to do both.
Yeah, so I wanted to keep going. This one I'm just purely in the lifestyle of drinking, smoking, partying.
Right.
And I was like, I got my iPhone and I was like, there's this memo thing on here. So I was like, I'm going to make like a radio station. So I would record like me talking, then I'll get a local song, paste it in there, then I'll upload it to SoundClick? SoundClick.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. Then I called it iTone Radio.
That's pretty inventive and creative.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just to take that first step and just do it like that.
Yeah, and then my first interview that way I got was with Machine Gun Kelly. There was a magazine, I forgot the magazine out here, and he was like, I want you to do an interview with Machine Gun Kelly, and then we're going to print it in the magazine. I'm like, all right. So I recorded it, but I just took the audio and made it into a podcast. So I was like, I got my first interview with Machine Gun Kelly.
Wow, that's a huge step, though.
Yeah,
right?
and I was like, I got a show where you can listen to it directly on the iPhone. So I called it iTunes Radio, and then I stopped doing that because I think I had my first son. So I stopped doing that, and then me and my friend Nico, we came up with the what was it called? It was called the I forgot the name of the show, but it was me and Nico just going back and forth talking shit, and then that's where we are.
Mm-hmm. What gets the best groupies? A rapper, a host, or a podcaster?
The best groupies?
The best
It got to
groupies.
be a rapper.
Really? Rapper?
Yeah, gotta be a rapper.
Okay.
Gotta be.
Okay.
I remember, 'cause I used to host for a company out here named Urban AZ.
Okay. I wanted to shout them out. Good deal, Urban AZ.
Salute Urban AZ. You gotta get Mercedes in here. She used to work with Urban AZ. She probably, like, get her interview because she knows
Mercedes. If somebody knows Mercedes, tell Mercedes we want to get her on the mission.
She has probably the best industry stories ever because she was married to Roger Troutman. Rest in peace, Roger Troutman.
Okay, rest in peace.
She had a baby with Roger Troutman too.
Okay,
but yeah, being backstage at like Urban AZ shows to see like celebrities. That's when I finally realized these niggas is regular people.
Yeah.
Like the only person that I looked at was like he's like a superstar was when I met Keith Sweat. He was on some fly shit.
The R&B guys do kind of hold that mantle a little higher than other people, you know. Yeah. My only reference to seeing Keith Sweat is not in real life, but that time. What was it? One of the younger rappers said something about challenging him as an R&B artist, and the look.
Oh, it was Jacquees.
Yeah, at backstage, and the look Keith Sweat gave him was just incredible. I appreciate that. That was really some old man business right there.
Yeah, he probably sent the goons up there, but yeah, French Montana, he performed, and then I was hosting his show. I seen him literally takes a man's girl. From the crowd and brought her backstage, and she left his man. And he didn't even have a ride back.
That brings up an interesting story. Let me ask you this question. One time I got hooked up with a friend to go to, this is one of the few shows where Wu-Tang and Rage Against the Machine actually made it and performed together. And beautiful girl, my friend hooked it up. And so we went and we drove, 2 or 3 hours to get there. It was an all-day thing. And she wanted me to escort her to where the backstage entrance is because she wanted to go backstage. Now, I didn't know this chick, and I didn't have no rights to her. It wasn't that. You know what I mean? I felt like if she wanted to go, she could go.
Wait, y'all came to the show together?
Right. Well, as with another couple, as like a put together couple to go to the show. It wasn't like I asked her out, but I'm sure it was like, hey, my friend Swerve is going. And my friend's going, and okay, cool, So it was a pretty good, she was light skinned and like white guys, and I was a white guy that was heavily into rap music. I thought it was a perfect fit. Yeah, but not most of the time, not usually. But anyway, she wanted me to escort her to the backstage door, and I just felt the way. I said, if it's not a rough crowd. If you want to go, you can go. But I'm not gonna show up at the backstage door like I'm offering her up as a sacrifice, or God forbid you think I want to come too. Because I'm not that kind of guy. I don't want I always wanted to meet people eye to eye, not as a groupie. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
So if she wanted to go groupie out, I'm cool. You can. That's you. I don't. Like I said, I can't stop you, but I don't know if I want to help you. So I didn't help her. I
would have left her.
Yeah. Well.
I'd be like, oh, you going to the backstage? All right, I'm out.
Well, if she would have made it back there, that's probably what would have happened. God bless her. I don't know what she expected me to do in that situation. I just thought it was a weird thing to request of a guy. But
I'm telling you, that's how you test these girls.
I guess so.
Take them to a concert.
I guess so. Take them to a concert.
See if they want to get backstage to get the yams waxed.
That's a good thing. Bringing that up, yams. Now I swear, just 5 minutes ago, Gillette Razor Blade was telling me how to speak to and about women in a proper way, and 5 minutes later, we've got WAP and yams. Now help me understand. Yams. Is that just in general for all women, or is that a particular portion of the women?
That's just women. That's just
women. A nice name that's playful. Are the women okay with it? Is it?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I've been in a couple. Yeah, they
like on the spectrum of ma'am to bitch. Where does it fall somewhere in between?
Ma'am.
It's closer to ma'am than bitch.
Ma'am.
Okay, I just want to know. I don't usually address too many women I don't know, so I don't have to speak of the yams much. But I like to know.
Yams were glazed. That means you shot the club up with no condom.
Okay.
You're glazing the yams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you're helping me out because I thought that was like the cocoa butter. Like I thought glazing the yams was like a nice thigh meat with the cocoa butter being rubbed on it. But I see what you mean now. Shooting up the club, glazing the yams.
Glazing the yams.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I glaze the yams. I'm gonna start calling my wife the yams and see how she thinks about that. What I see you really go back and forth with guys about LeBron. Let's get to it.
Yes, LeBron James.
Now, without a doubt, let's make this clear. You were LeBron. You said earlier you were a LeBron fan off the court.
I love LeBron James off the court.
Off the court.
Can't hate on that man. Great father.
Stand-up guy. Family man. Role model.
Role model. Kind of corny.
I am a role model. You have to, as someone who's a dad now, being a dad, being a role model, you know, there's going to be times when your street credibility comes in question.
Right,
if you're fathering right, you know.
Right.
You can't wear J's to the playground. You know what I mean?
Right,
you got to have
right.
some dad shoes. If that sums it up, you know what I mean? It's a different lifestyle. And someone who is completely street could very much judge me as corny, and I would have to accept that. That's okay. I understand.
It's cool to be corny now.
I get up early. I go to bed early. I'm not, you know, it's my family first. That's what it's all about for me. But mind you, the only thing I've ever done is sell small amounts of cannabis. I've never really been a gangster. Now that I moved to Arizona, I'm official civilian, 100% civilian. I'm not doing any crime at all. But anyway, what do you think could be better? Where you say Arizona hip hop is way better than it was maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago. What does it need to do? What does Arizona hip hop need to do?
One, I think they just got to learn their business. They got to
become independent.
Yeah, I mean.
Or stay independent.
Ain't nothing wrong being independent if you can do that shit yourself. But I think they also need to work on the art too. Like LeBron James practices that jump shot. He practiced that a million times. I think artists have gotten away from practicing their art, practicing rhyme schemes, practicing how to make dope music, asking people to help them pick beats. Like, you got to think there's an artist named Mulatto, who female rapper, popping right now out there in the whole industry, and she was on that reality show with JD called The Rap Game. Even though she was on there for a short period of time, that's artist development.
Yeah.
And right now, what's missing in hip hop is artist development.
Definitely. I think part of Arizona's. We got tons of games here today. Has any of the legends been paid so far?
Pay your legends?
Have any legends been paid so far? The campaign has been in effect. Have any legends been paid?
What do you mean? Like, I've been paid.
You've been paid?
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. I guess it's your campaign. That's the main one you want to talk about.
It was funny how that Pay Your Legends came about. Like, I wanted to go back into the club for my birthday, and then
let's talk about that. I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, and then the promoters, they wanted to treat me like I would say a local rapper. Like, well, you need to bring this amount of people. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but in that club scene, I've paid my dues. Like, take care of me. So I did a campaign on Instagram, like Pay Your Legends, and then there was different clubs like offering me like different services. Like, we'll give you this, and I will give you that. Then it was just a young promoter. That's why I like young people. I'm respecting the youth of Arizona because they plugged me. And they didn't have to. They just did it off of respect. Like the younger generation, people don't give them enough credit for what they do out here as far as hip hop.
Yeah, I think, I've met all the young guys I've met have been very like old souls, kind of like smart guys that nothing like what some people would think maybe when you think about younger talent. What do you think of when I say the words respect the underground, and not just the words in general, the company we're talking about, what comes to mind when you say respect the underground? You've been around the whole time from their emergence to now.
I really wasn't around for the emergence.
Okay.
I was in the house. I was in a bad relationship at that time. So my girl wouldn't let me come outside, so I wouldn't.
So that was like after the hosting. You went through a time when you were just out of the scene. Yeah,
I was out of the scene. But Justice, he comes to mind. Respect Underground.
Okay.
I remember, I believe there was some club on the north side.
I hate to ask, but has there ever been a diss track?
With me and Justice? Nah.
Okay, I'm just checking. Lock the door over there.
I think me and Justice known each other since 2005, 6.
Okay, I would think it's you've been in the scene together. So yeah.
We've always never been like a love-hate relationship.
Right.
We've always it's like old men. Like me and him we'll always probably be slandering each other until we like into our 60s and 70s and shit.
When I did my ear to the street, no matter whether people, not everybody fucked with you, but no matter whether people fucked with you or not, they all respected your gift of gab. I'll say that.
Appreciate that.
No matter what, to be honest, some people questioned the title of Podcast King. They say, how can this guy be a Podcast King? He doesn't have a platform.
Again, I never said I was podcast.
No, I know you didn't.
Thank you for doing
that. I respect your gift to gab, and I respect your ability as a broadcaster.
Thank you.
So, and we make headlines to catch eyes. We make headlines to start debates.
Right.
To someone who says you need to have a platform or you're not a proper podcaster until you have some kind of platform, what do you say to those people, that critic?
Well, I say that I am the platform.
Right.
Like right now in this era, you can just
Facebook and IG is the same as what everybody else is doing.
Same as everything. You can literally pick up your phone. I can start talking right now, rip the audio, and I can call it a podcast.
Are all your clips, pardon me for being ignorant, are all your clips just like short clips that are posted on Facebook? Do you have longer play interviews or longer?
Yeah, like
do you have a YouTube channel as well, or where do we get the full?
I got my YouTube channel, Myke Terrell.
Yeah.
Spotify, I'm on Myke Terrell. When me and my friend, when COVID hit, me and my friend Nuggy G, we had the Myke Terrell podcast, which was kind of like a therapy session to me. Mm-hmm. So it was like an hour to 2 hours and a half. But since COVID hit, I was like, shit, I want to keep my content going. I was like, shit, I'm about to, whatever there's a topic that inspires me to talk about it, I'm going to turn my fucking light on, turn my mic on, talk about it, and upload that shit to IGTV. And people like, they've been loving that shit. Like I'm in this Atlanta group where they share my last video. I believe my last video is about the voting beatdown. Mm-hmm. And then they sent that to Shade Room, and the Shade Room liked it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so Shade Room liked it. I was like, damn, hopefully they post me one day.
Right.
To me, you are the platform.
Right. So there's no need.
Like, there's no need. I would love.
Wrap it up, boss. I'm out of here. Pull up the truck. Get the equipment out. No. I understand what you're saying, and I think it's very true. I think it's just a matter of moments before more and more people get turned on to your broadcast.
Yeah,
and I think it's great. God bless you. I think it's great. You mentioned Stern and some others. Maybe did you mention Charlemagne,
Andrew Schultz?
What about Budden? You got to go through Budden to get where you're going, or is that a different thing?
I like Joe. I like Joe Budden.
I'm very much non-competitive with this. I feel like obviously I run a podcast and I can call someone else a podcast king. I think my show is very different than everyone else's. I'm certainly not in the clubs. I certainly don't speak about the yams. And I haven't followed sports in 20 years, so that's not my conversation. Yeah. I left sports soon after I stopped playing sports recreationally just for fun. When that slowed down, I stopped watching sports.
Oh, okay.
And all my references are like pre-95. So of course that's why I'm a Jordan fan and not a LeBron fan.
See, that's why I fuck with you.
I'm like, Kobe's cool, but he never, his shoes needed to be better. I don't know why, but your shoes need to be better. LeBron's shoes should have always been better. LeBron, what broke the back for me, because on a lot of levels, it seems like, a lot of levels, I got a 3-year-old and a family, and all that comes first, and I got a show, and so I don't give a fuck at the beginning. But when LeBron walked off the court, can we just talk about that? I mean, wasn't that an important game? Wasn't that a big deal? I mean, to me, it's any game. You stay on the court. You're making all that money. I hate to sound like an old Jew, which I'm not, but I hate to sound like one. But you make all that money, and you walk off the court early. It's just, to me, a leader doesn't do that. And someone tried to argue and said, you can't judge a man's frustration. Bullshit. That's what good sportsmanship is all about.
Jordan would never.
Would never
walk off the court.
Would never. You know why? Because and I'm gonna tell you the difference in thought to me. Because if Jordan would have lost that game, he would have stayed on the court because he would have felt like he was the reason
that they lost.
Right. He would have took responsibility. He wouldn't have been pointing any fingers. But God knows he had to win those games a lot on his own. So if he lost one, he would have took that on the chin because he would have been beating himself up. Yeah. The last thing he would have been done is walking off or pointing the finger at other people. And I think it was such a poor lesson for kids. I mean, you're supposed to learn that in young, and you're supposed to learn that at a young age. Please help me out. Help me understand.
See, my thing is like with that situation, a lot of people hate me for saying this, but LeBron James, I believe he has daddy issues because he never had a father growing up. His daddy wasn't shit. Michael Jordan and Kobe, they've had fathers.
Yeah, strong fathers.
Strong fathers. So
God bless Jordan's father. He might have, who knows? He might have took one for the team for real. But go ahead. I don't want to say that.
Like Jordan's father, literally, when Jordan against the Knicks, he literally took his son gambling to get some drinks and some yams. That's what fathers do.
Right.
Son, you're
good
losing.
Father.
Yeah.
Let's get your mind right.
Let's get your mind right, son.
You're not acting right. Let's reset. Let's reboot.
Yeah, let's reboot.
Yeah, right.
Now, LeBron, I believe he has like a sense of entitlement. Like every coach, LeBron I have fired. He doesn't. LeBron is the coach, basically. That's
right.
That's to his greatness, though.
Right.
Like,
but it's also a detriment in the team.
Right.
In the team scheme of things, right?
Right.
Let me ask, did you have a strong relationship with your father?
Yes, super strong.
I did as well.
Yeah.
I actually worked with him for 20 years, so you don't get much closer than that. All the bullshit gets thrown out the window when you're doing hard work with somebody.
Right, yeah.
So me and my father, luckily, we didn't have to pay a therapist. We worked through all our issues while building houses on the job. Do you think sometimes, because I run into this with some of my stepson's friends and just people in life in general, do you think sometimes it's hard for, I think because we had strong fathers, we immediately see the differences. We immediately see the red flags. Do you think, I mean, obviously it's hard for people that are in that situation to see themselves the same way we see them, and I don't expect them to. Do you think it's hard for them to see them?
I think it is. It's naturally,
or even an extension of that. The people that were raised similar to LeBron have a hard time seeing fault in him, maybe because of how they were raised as well.
Right, they do, because it's a lot of time it's a reaction off emotion. Like my dad told me to react off logic. Use logic. Emotions.
And even if he didn't tell you, he moved that way in front of you.
Right.
He was a living role model for even the things he didn't say. You picked up just watching him react to situations.
Right. Exactly.
Which is so key, so important.
Yeah, that's why I always say having both parents is an absolute. It's key, even if they're not together. Just so you have both. In life. Right. Yeah.
And at the worst, a very strong uncle, grandfather,
mentor.
Very strong, steady guy that's around for a while, for a long time.
Yeah, mentor. Like I'm a stepdad as well.
Okay.
Just like you, yeah. And
let's talk about those struggles. How are you dealing with that? I've been with my stepson for, like I said, 7 years. I came in when he was becoming a teenager, so I've been through the teenage years with a stepson.
I haven't got there yet.
Yeah. But I have a 3-year-old who's my own, so I'm going through everything else. I'm learning it all as I get to be an old man.
Yeah,
I started late.
Yeah, it's kind of the crazy dynamic because, like my stepson, like he's never met his dad. He doesn't know his dad. He's 9 years old.
When did you come into his life, if you don't mind me
6.
asking?
No,
6.
5.
5.
When he was 5 years old.
Okay.
So I was the first male figure role model that he's ever had.
Sure.
And when I came in, he was kind of on the mommy issues, and I'd be like, no. When you walk in a room, you look every man in the eye and you shake his hand. Mm-hmm. If you lose the game, you lose the same way you win is the same way you lose. Mm-hmm. You don't go over there and pout. You go over there, shake hands, good game, run it again, do the next one. But I always told him, or I always told his mom, that I would never slander his real dad. Even if his dad was a piece of shit,
Right.
I'm never going to him, I'm not going to be like, oh, your dad wouldn't blase ski. Right. I would never do that. I was like, as you get older, that's your decision whether...
You can read the facts and decide for yourself.
Yeah, you're going to decipher that as yourself. It's very interesting being a stepdad.
I've heard it's easier coming in early, which you unfortunately, fortunately for you did. Yeah, we have a good relationship, as good as you can expect. So I'm happy with where we're at. You know, and hopefully we're moving to be closer. But I never really expected or wanted to be his, of course, not his father. His father has passed, so that's our situation. But someone came on the show that was a stepfather, and it had been a stepson, and now is a stepfather, and he expressed that try to be a brother or a sister type relationship.
Right.
So I thought that was real good advice, and that's what I try to do. And hey, my stepson is 21 years old now, so. He's a full-grown man. He's doing and go be whatever he's gonna be at this point. So as long as we can live under the roof as roommates, then we get along all right. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah. So obviously you're doing it now. You said you kind of started this way because of COVID. COVID, God bless us, isn't gonna last forever. I don't think. What does the future hold for Myke Terrell? Are you gonna just continue this route? Would you ever, again, the streets, a little birdie in my ear said that you were offered to have a show right here in this very room, right here at Respect the Underground, Icon Radio, that you were offered to have it. They tried to offer you a show maybe a couple times, and you would just turn it down. You just want to do your own thing.
I wouldn't, I didn't feel like I was, ready.
Okay.
Which is another Arizona hip-hop curse that's in me. I'm just like the rappers. A lot of rappers out here, they just won't do it, just won't put it out. And to me, I have to be okay, this has to align, this is ready. Right now I feel that I'm comfortable enough. I want to be able to have a show like your show, mic, screen, all that. Eventually I want to get into that.
Sure.
I want to be able to do that.
I appreciate you building your following before when you're completely on your own.
Yeah.
Being new to Arizona, I'm appreciating the affiliation with Respect Underground. I started out DJing one of their stages and working through Loud Pack Net. And so here I am now. What are your thoughts on Loud Pack Net since I brought them up?
Loud Pack Net? What is that, a weed? That's a weed?
You don't know of Loud Pack Net?
Nah, they got some Loud Packs?
Fella named Loud and a fella named Sativa, Suave Sativa.
Oh, okay.
And, okay.
I'm an indica guy.
Me too. That's a funny quote. I appreciate that.
I'm an indica, but stay away from, I don't know, is it Banana OG?
Stay away from Banana OG. I like that kind of advice. Why do we stay away from Banana OG?
That shit had me like I was on crack.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Was that good?
That was a bad high.
I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to weed, I'm like a bad heroin person. When somebody says, "Oh yeah, they OD'd on that Banana OG," I'm like, "Word? Where they get that shit at? I want some." Can I?
That shit fucked me up, bro.
I don't want any fentanyl. I'm glad to be enjoying this Arizona medicated cannabis where, I know it's, I go to the dispensary and hope, God bless, it's just weed. I've been able to live a long life in hip hop and maintain to just like a little liquor and cannabis. So I'm in a good place. That's where I want to stay. What are your thoughts when I just say something like the AZMT Awards?
Ooh.
What do they bring to mind?
AZMT.
We had Kid K in here a couple weeks ago, something like that, and he tried his best to explain his intent of the process, if not the whole process, and I thought he did a good job explaining it. I've always been a fan, a sponsor. The couple of years I've been here, I've been involved with the AZMT Awards.
You went to the awards?
Oh yeah, I've been there. One year I DJ'd. I definitely sponsored before. I never saw the fault in it that other people see, but please enlighten me. Give me. I don't want to influence you. What are your thoughts?
I've never been nominated, ever. I've won. Justice actually beat me for an award.
As a rapper?
No,
we're speaking
as
about?
a host award.
They actually had a host award.
Yeah,
okay.
It wasn't AZMT. I forgot what the award.
It was another award. Justice beat you out on.
Yeah, I was hating on him hard for that too.
Yeah, I bet. Well, that's a tough. He's got. In his old pictures, he looked a little Justin Beaverish. So I'm sure that was hard to compete with.
But AZMT, nothing against the people who've made the awards. If they eat off that, they get money off that. Great idea, because they don't have to do shit at all.
Right.
My opinion is, I would want them to be more like the Grammys. Don't give rapper A, B, and C a chance to get the entire call center to vote for them.
Right. Well, I think the nominations come down to that, but I think who wins he was very private about the actual process of picking the winner.
Oh, okay.
He said it definitely didn't come down to just who votes the most. They do that to get, the way he described it is they start with whoever gets nominated. So meaning Joe Blow could write his own name. You could have your wife write your name. Anybody can get their name up. And then once the name gets up, the amount of votes narrows that, say, 100 people down to 10 people.
Okay.
And then from there, he told me the process is very secretive. Someone, like the government or some shit. Some guys go behind a closed door.
See, I don't
and
like that.
they roll dice, they worship Beelzebub, and they come out with a winner with some smoke in the air. I don't know. He didn't really say how they figured the winner.
See, there's this guy that works for ESPN named Mel Kiper. I don't know if you know him.
No.
Mel Kiper.
Shout out to Mel, though.
Mel Kiper, every year, his one entire job is to figure out who's going to be drafted on an NFL team.
Okay.
That's his entire job. That's the only reason.
So he works all year on this.
All year.
You're right. A lot of research.
They need somebody to have their ear to the streets and find out who is making the best art, the best music, who has the best fans. Then you decide that these are the nominees, and we going to pick the winner. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. I don't want them...
You want to now when you said we want to pick the winner, who was the we? I'm sorry, I lost you for a minute.
They need a committee. A committee
of people that are knowledgeable and aware. Right. You would be a good example. Justice would be a good example.
Justice would be a good example. Some DJs, maybe a couple club promoters. Be like, who is really pushing the line out here?
Right.
Because anybody can say, I got 3 songs on SoundCloud, but I got mad people that fuck with me. But your art's not good. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't want somebody that has terrible art to win, because then that looks bad on the process, in my opinion.
I agree. But these days, some people, and I mean, I'm an old-fashioned guy. To me, from the outside, it seems like some people with terrible art are winning.
Yeah.
So
Blueface.
Yeah, right. I mean, just as who's the judge these days? That's all I'm saying. If a guy that to me raps horribly has 10,000 fans that probably are young and speak differently, as an older man, I kind of got to go with the wave sometimes, because hip hop is a young man's sport.
You're right.
I trust the group ethic over my own personal choice at this point in life, and it hadn't always been like that, but that's the way I move nowadays.
Yeah, I'm 40 years old. I'm a man of a certain age. Like, I don't feel right critiquing the younger rapper, because I may not understand it.
Right.
My dad didn't understand Biggie Smalls.
Nobody did.
My dad didn't understand Tupac. He was like, what the fuck is this?
When I was 20, there wasn't a person. Now, mind you, I was in Richmond, Virginia, but there wasn't a person. I didn't feel like there was a person over 30 years old of any race that could tell me about hip hop when I was 20. No
Real
one.
shit.
It was a disconnect. They were a different generation.
Right.
If they were white, they were classic rock, or AC/DC and that shit. Or if they were black, they were Parliament Funkadelic and James Brown, and they were they didn't like hip hop either.
Right.
That's why I laugh when some people try to make hip hop a race thing. I remember clearly a lot of black people that didn't like hip hop.
Not at all.
So
running over CDs.
So how do they get to be? They get to be welcome in the house, but I got to be a guest. I've loved hip hop from the first day I heard it. So that's why to me it's never been a race thing. But anyway, enough of that. Who is an Arizona artist, and it could be any artist, but I think we're talking music maybe. What's an Arizona artist that we haven't heard of that we should know about?
We haven't heard of.
Well, that maybe they're not popping, but we should know about them, because maybe their art's great, but their social media sucks. Or I don't know. Who's an artist that you think a lot of people haven't heard of that we should know about?
There's one artist that I personally want to work with, that I want to go back into my Rich Rico mode with.
Okay. That's interesting. That's good talk.
Like, I don't want to be their manager, but I want to ask them, say, how can I help?
Consultant.
How can I add to this as far as that? And her name's Samara Sin. She's a female rapper.
Okay.
She reminds me of, like, the rapping Jhené Aiko. Because she's not...
Wow, that's sexy.
Yeah, she's not rapping like how the women rappers rap now about, I'm going to take your money, buy me a Birkin. Like...
My pussy.
She not on no WAP shit, like, and she's not.
It's all aggressive, like Wu-Tang with the WAP all of a sudden. My pussy.
Every song, bro, every song. But you know,
when
Rhapsody,
somebody makes it hot. Yeah, I love Rhapsody. Yeah.
Like, she's like Rhapsody, but don't. And I say this respectfully.
Understood. She said she's
prettier than Rhapsody.
I got you. Okay.
And then
I don't even know if I'm allowed to agree to that in these days and times, but I know exactly what you're saying.
And I think that when you're a women rapper, the girls, female fans have to want to be able to want to be you.
Yeah.
And Rhapsody can rap her motherfucking ass off, but I don't think the women fans, they don't connect with her because she's not like Cardi B. She's not showing pussy, showing ass. So there's a female rapper out here that's rapping like Rhapsody, but that's pretty as fuck though.
Let's just be honest. We all like a pretty package, and cute ugly bias still is a real thing in the real world.
Right.
They still trying to get Precious some more good work. God bless her. They told Precious she was gonna act like everybody. I'm saying I'm fucking with her name. It's Silda Bay. Get
what is it?
I can't say it right, so I just want to say
Precious.
But I mean, they told her she should get roles just like everybody else, and that's just not the fact of the matter. I'm sorry. I wish it was a beautiful, perfect world, but it's just not like that.
It's not like that.
I mean, let's be honest. Me and Mike is not going to be a major motion picture.
No.
We're made for broadcasting.
Right.
We're made for the tone and sound of our voice.
Right.
And if God bless my wife, if you like the package, God bless you. Thank you. But you're probably here for the gift of gab. This has been my pleasure. We've got some more time left. It's not over, but it's been my pleasure to sit down and talk with you. For these main interviews, it's all people I want to talk to. So it's people I'm fans of, and I appreciate you coming in. You had good thoughts on everything. Your two mains are Pay Your Legends and the Hatrix.
Yes, Pay Your Legends.
Those are the Pay Your Legends and the Hatrix. Those are the two main focuses. Now, am I wrong, or that sometimes when you just tap in about like a current subject, that it's neither of those? It's just you talking on a subject, or all of your podcasts? When I tap in, all of your broadcasts focus into those two channels? It's the Pay Your Legends. Pay Your Legends is mainly like the movement. I got merch. Like, I got this hat right here. I know. I seen the merch. Looks good. Yeah, I got the merch. Yeah. That's mainly like a movement for like older people that you need to respect in the city. Sure. I wanted to do a show like that. Probably need to talk to Justice about that, as far as like a Pay Your Legend show. I think that's needed and would be great for somebody like me. I love hip hop, and I like how it evolved in every region. And I think there's a great story here that hadn't been told, about how it's evolved and evolving, and the ups and downs at Hot Rod and Willie North Pole. Being from the East Coast, we heard that blip. That was a blip. Like, oh shit. Hot Rod got signed to G Unit. Oh shit, there's this guy named Willie North Pole. It was a blip, and that's, it was like 6 months, I don't know however long it was. And then, unfortunately for Hot Rod, I don't know if he just didn't work with the unit, but the unit was cooling way off at that time as well. See, I believe Hot Rod was ahead. He was ahead of his time. Right. Because it hurts a lot of guys. He popped in the wrong era. I believe if like a little era up, if Hot Rod would have popped, he would have been huge. Same thing with Willie. Willie would have been huge, because you got to think, Willie, he was bigger than Nipsey Hussle at a point. Right. Because Nipsey Hussle wasn't getting like major label attention like Willie North Pole. No, I mean, when I heard of Willie North Pole, it was a long time before we heard of Nipsey Hussle. Exactly. Yeah. And like, I think like
maybe you need to get Willie in here and tell like the real story, because there's a real story that I
would like to. Willie, or if anybody, my buddy T Dub is a DJ from the East Coast, happens to know Willie very well. If anyone can reach out, I would love to have Willie North Pole on the show. I'll have special beverages for a special guest.
Hot Rod, he has a real story of how that whole situation like fell apart.
I've listened to some of Willie North Pole's music, which he goes into it. And some from a rap song angle, right. But I agree. I would really love to hear the story, and I think it needs to be told. And I think a lot about Arizona's hip hop history needs to be told. I think Pay Your Legends to me is a lot like my show Flowers, or the mission of this show is to sit down and talk with people, hear their experience, hear their story, let them drop their gems, let people learn from their experience. Because at the end of the day, that's all we really have. Rich people are just paying for better experiences.
That's true.
At the end of the day, we're all just living with experience. And to be honest, sometimes a cold beer and a game of spades or dominoes can be a great experience, even if you don't have a lot of money.
That's true.
So that's what I love. That's what I do it for. What do you think? I had a really good question about Willie and Hot Rod, and I lost it. What do you think? Was Hot Rod? It seemed to me Hot Rod was being marketed as like, and this may sound fucked up, I don't mean any disrespect, but it seemed like Hot Rod was being marketed as like if Candy Store was a male rapper. Like the handsome guy, the sexy guy. Like 50, 50 first came out, everybody was talking about horse teeth and no one really wants to fuck Eminem. I guess sometimes hip hop look just like they look for the beautiful female, the pretty female. Sometimes they look to take a formula and find a handsome man.
Yeah, like 50 took LL's formula.
Right.
As far
shirt
as
off,
right. Cut, worked out.
Rapping hard, but selling body to the ladies.
That
kind of thing.
Right.
And we were so used to him being hard, that's why Candy Shop I didn't think worked for a lot of people. But from the outside, it seemed like, hey, if we had a handsome guy that the girls were maybe more into, that had more songs like Candy Shop, or like, I don't even know Hot Rod's really discography. I know he had a song with Mary J. Blige. You can't shit on that.
With a Dre beat. That was
with a Dre beat. I mean, so, and like you said, timing is so important. Some guys just catch bad timing. Whether it's...
See, I was wondering during that era, because maybe we were the kids when we would like listen to Biggie, because I don't think when Hot Rod was popping that the kids really was bumping G Unit like that.
Right.
Do you think the age grab always was...
No, because like I said, I thought they were cooling off at the time anyway. I think they were. Wasn't that during the time when he was like, he went around snatching up MOP and Cool...
Mobb Deep.
There was rumors he was going to... he either snatched up or there was rumors he was going to snatch up a gang of people, and they were trying to kind of catch that second wave of G Unit.
Right.
Because, whatever, it was starting to cool off. And I feel like maybe he was a part of that. They thought we're going to, try something from the West Coast and try something that's different for G Unit, and it just
that was during the Game era, and I think the Game hindered G Unit's process when he started.
Well, he was definitely on their ass. I mean, as hard as one man can go against somebody, he went with them pretty fearlessly, because they were powerful. So respect to him, he had to do what he did. But that was a part of them cooling off. People saw when he left. I think people saw that as a weakness. Even if you whoever you blame, it still looks as a weakness when people separate like that.
That's true.
So I don't know. I think all of that plays in a part in it, and one of us needs to have that interview with Hot Rod and Willie North Pole to break all that down.
And Juice.
And Juice. Now explain to me. I'm familiar with the other two. Who is Juice? Because I've heard his name mentioned.
Juice. He goes by Richie Evans now.
Okay.
He was signed to the Game. Because when 50 signed Hot Rod...
the Game came and got an Arizona rapper too?
The Game came and got an Arizona rapper.
That's ill. That's always what people want to happen. It doesn't usually happen, but okay, all right.
And then there was some street
did they go at each... I mean, naturally, did they get put at each other? Did
Juice
they go
went
at each
Hot
other?
Rod. I think he got a song saying, I'm not some fuck Hot Rod or something.
Okay, interesting. I need to do my Googles, and I need to go catch up on that, because I love those kind of stories. That's why I do this show,
Because Willie dissed the Game too.
I'm sure.
Look on that. There's a YouTube song like 6 minutes of Willie North Pole dissing the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like that. Willie has a lot of fucking history. A lot of history.
That's awesome. That's incredible. That's incredible. Is there any chance we'll ever see Two-Tone the Superstar again?
I don't know, man.
It's funny when I say many people I brought your name up to, I say Myke Terrell. They say, "Oh, you mean Two-Tone?" Do you get that? Is that when you rebranded? Was it hard to rebrand when you rebranded?
Like nobody want to call me Myke Terrell. Like nobody. I changed it because.
Well, you literally got people to call you a superstar.
Yeah.
So I mean that it takes a lot of ego to get that going, and once you got it going, people didn't want to back off, huh?
Yeah.
Two-Tone the Superstar.
Two-Tone the Superstar. I wanted to be like like Nick Cannon or who else is a famous radio personality? Howard Stern. I wanted to be like Myke Terrell.
Right.
Yeah.
Either the 2-1 combination, one way or the other. The two syllables.
But they
Myke
won't let
Terrell.
Two-Tone go.
They won't let Two-Tone go. What would it take? What would we have to do to get Two-Tone back on the mic? What would have to happen? Somebody dissed you, independent single deal or something. What would it take for you to? What would commercial radio have to offer you to get you to go to commercial radio?
To go to commercial radio?
They said we want you. We want Myke Terrell first of the year. Your show 4 hours a day during the day, every weekday. We want to give you a show. Fill our plate, Mike. What do you need for us to do that? Now, mind you, we want to give you $10 an hour, part-time job with no benefits, no help, no pre-production, post-production help, not even an engineer to run your show with you. But other than that, what do you want to come back to commercial radio?
I don't know. Like I have been thinking about it. Like thinking about like how I left that situation with Power. Just thinking like if I would have had that show Ground Zero and it just would have been mine and I had the ability to control it.
Right.
I think that would have been huge for the scene.
It seems like to me in radio you have to constantly prove yourself and almost constantly be looking for the next job at the same time.
Yeah, just like Jello said it. He said you don't have a career in radio if you haven't been fired.
Right.
Well,
I mean, that's the lesson from Stern and Charlemagne and everybody is that you pretty much have to have the stomach for getting fired and have the stomach for finding a new market or something. Or you have to move. A lot of people just can't move that much, I don't know. Commercial radio, I am so...
you wouldn't want to do like a morning show?
I would love to do it, but I would have my reservations. I would love to do it. I'm at the time of life where I could do it. I would love to do it, but I would have my reservations just dealing with commercial radio. Here at Respect the Underground, the head programmer, the CEO, although he does bum rush in the office in the show every now and then, in general, they don't give me a lot of notes other than helpful advice, and I get to do whatever I want to do. I have the ability to garner my own ads or sponsorship or however you want to word it.
Fire.
So, when you get into commercial radio, you're kind of locked into a system now. There is something I'm an older guy, so there's something very entertaining and very entertaining about being on commercial radio, reaching that many ears every morning. People go to work. Probably people 30 and under don't listen to radio much anymore, but people 30 and over still do at certain times of the day. Broadcast radio is still very powerful. As much as we want the internet to take over the world, broadcast radio is still very powerful.
I just love the callers. Like the ability to talk to
live
the people.
callers talking to the people. That's something we're working on here. Hopefully we're going to get there. I agree. I mean, it's just that's what we grew up under, and I think to us there's still a certain amount of kingship to being on air personality.
Right.
And the love you get a lot of love. Why not enjoy it? I would. The problem is with me. I would want someone to purchase and give me a budget to run a show.
Same exact thing.
I don't want to work. Because the majority of hours, like you may or may not know, definitely for my show, I'm a one-man show. I do the flyers, the video promo. I do the research. I do it all myself.
That's what I did at Power.
Right.
I did the.
Right, but they're not paying. They don't want to pay you.
me.
They don't want to pay you when you're at home working. They only go pay you when you're in the office, and you're only allowed to be in the office when you're doing the show or whatever. So, you don't get paid for a lot of that extra stuff. And at least here, I'm able to try to hustle up my own sponsorship or something. We're working on that as well. So, I don't know. It would take a lot. I think I would want to come back a certain way, and they wouldn't want to they wouldn't want to at first anyway. Wouldn't want to pay me to come back that way.
Right.
You know?
See the way you grind, like you do, like you got your logo, you grind, you market your show, and I'm the same way. Like, there's no radio personality out here that's on mainstream radio that grinds like that.
No, and we have
you wouldn't
to.
even know.
But I think the benefit is so much better. Like, I like owning my show.
Right.
I own my show. I can do whatever I want with it, you know. And I know you enjoy that freedom. And
yeah.
And if you can do it yourself, you know, you want to do a show somewhere, you call me. I'll come work the board for you. Don't let that get in your way anymore. Myke Terrell, it's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm gonna play a little of that. Thank you, man. I could talk for another hour. It's been an hour and a half. Thanks so much to Myke Terrell for coming in. Respect the underground, Icon Radio. Peace, 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 peace.